This week on Sweet Ruca, tensions rise as countries tighten their borders and we leave the BVI for safe refuge. We learn how to be social while being socially distant, and I considered changing the round-the-world plans altogether.
Kate was thinking about just bailing on the whole thing and going home, but hopefully she stays. I don't want to see her go.
I'm Kate. This is Curtis and Roxy the dog. This is our roaming home Sweet Ruca. 1 year ago, we quit our jobs, bought a boat, and plan on sailing around the world without going through the canal. You heard me right, Cape Horn and the Cape of Good Hope. Click subscribe and come along for the ride.
Keep love alive, but I've tried.
We were forced to check out of the BVIs before our official checkout, but were allowed to stay in the BVI waters until our visas expired. We just weren't allowed on shore. We decided to visit the caves before exiting the waters for good. You should just let me put my hand in right there.
Alright, do it.
Trying to wake up from a dream. It's harder than it seems. Birds are flying all around. Some fall and hit the ground. This is where I should belong. Inside.
The caves at Norman Island were said to be a place where pirates would bury their treasure. They could store the treasure deep in the caves where it would be protected from all types of conditions. The only treasure we found was joy of having this beautiful spot all to ourselves.
I will love you till I die. On shaky grounds. You could never understand. The way I am is not what it seems. Tangled up in dreams.
Hey everybody, we are in the caves in Norman Island in the British Virgin Islands. We have the place to ourselves, which is pretty cool and probably really rare. So Curtis is going to show you around the caves and all the different colors that we can see on the walls here.
I'm tired in oh so many ways. Been gone for 7 days. I don't know why I can't explain. My heart delivers pain, and I got nothing more to say. I'm just bored in every way. I don't know where I wanna go.
We made sure Roxy got some exercise before we left too. You can teach an old dog new tricks. For our last night in the BVI, the sunset behind the USVI, one of the few territories that remained open to yachts in transit. Our hand-washed laundry dry on the lifelines, and we deeply consider our future and the futures of our loved ones back home. Tomorrow would be the start of an uncertain adventure.
Behind me we have the BVIs, and in front of me we have the USVIs. It is our time to go.
We are headed back across the border. We'll show you where you're crossing the border right now. There we go, we are in. So we don't know quite how this is going to go. There's been some talks that it is hard to get across the border and stuff like that. So we're going to go ahead and use the road map and check in right now. So we are legally in the U.S. So we were worried that because this is now determined to be a non-essential activity, that they wouldn't allow us to check in using the row map. But shortly afterward, we got a call and they assured us that we could check in. I do hear a boat coming at us and an airplane. Holy smokes. That is the Coast Guard airplane. He's now flying really low and slow over the south coast of St. John. Really getting up in there, right along the mountains. This is impressive flying, actually. We'll just kind of keep on sailing for the time being and hopefully don't get dive bombed by any other airplanes.
After a successful electronic check-in, our first stop in the USVI would be Buck Island, south of St. Thomas, an isolated spot where we could be safe from the virus. We grabbed a mooring and contemplated our next moves.
Well, everybody, we just snagged a mooring ball at Buck Island in the U.S. Virgin Islands, and we are here quarantining ourselves from the virus. For the most part, we're going to stay on the boat and try to kill a few more days and see where things head, so that's that.
Little did we know we were moored over the top of shipwreck Cartanza Senora, a 190-foot-long freighter that was used to carry goods around World War II. Apparently, the ship was not always transporting legal goods, and when informed they would be checked by the Coast Guard, the ship was abandoned at the mouth of St. Thomas Harbor, where it sank. It was eventually moved west of Buck Island. However, Hurricane Hugo had other plans, and it was blown into shallower water and broken into 3 pieces, closer to Buck Island where it sits today.
How was your dive today?
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Awesome wreck! As with most people during the pandemic, a large concern of ours was getting provisions, so to be safe we left Buck Island and sailed to St. Thomas Yacht Club, where we arranged to pick up groceries so we would not have to go into a store. It seemed to be the safest option at the time.
Just enjoying being outside and being grateful for a lot of things in our lives, and really just trying to stay positive and happy that we're going out for a sail today.
We decided to leave the BVIs rather than stay, and we went to the USVIs, which we're happy with that move. It gives us a little bit more freedom than the boats that are still anchored in the BVI have. Right now they can't move or go sail out like we are doing.
Or go to shore.
Or go to shore. And we are not insured to have the boat in the Caribbean past June 1st in hurricane season. So we've really got to look at where we're going to be in the coming months. So today we're just going to go out. I'm going to continue growing my Corona cut over here. I think Kate likes my little floppy curls. All right, folks, we're going sailing. Turned off. You know, people are like looking at vessel traffic from shore and picking out certain boats and on Facebook, and not that we're doing anything wrong, we just kind of want to fly under the radar for a little bit. We want to do our social distance and, you know, be left alone while doing so.
We plopped the anchor down in the beautiful sand in front of St. Thomas Yacht Club to head in and pick up our food. Then soon we could once again spend our days sailing in self-isolation. With so many people on the main island, we did not plan to stick around long. We were impressed at how St. Thomas Yacht Club supported sailors during the pandemic.
Alright, so we call it provisioning because saying grocery shopping doesn't do it justice. And today we decided to go above and beyond and actually take a full inventory and make a spreadsheet of long-term storage foods, cans and things like that. We call that provisioning.
Everybody makes mistakes. I guess no one can be perfect. It was just one kiss, but that don't justify it.
Heading over to Christmas Cove from St. Thomas Yacht Club. There's a little less chop over there, so we're gonna get some good night's sleep during this pandemic.
It's fine. Oh, and I really think it's time we say goodbye. Baby, I'm too fed up.
We thoroughly missed stretching our legs and longed for more adventure, so Roxy and I hit the paddleboard and checked out another shipwreck on shore. It gave off spooky vibes with its many components and even tools lay splattered about.
Tired
So I'm here at Christmas Cove. We love Christmas Cove. It's just a beautiful spot. We also have this really amazing shipwreck. Take a look on land here, washed up on shore. So right here we have the mast broken off from the deck over here. Quite the mess. Right here you can see the sails still attached and buried underneath all these rocks.
I don't know what happened to us. Oh, 'cause we bring each other.
It's not very often we come across this kind of thing, but it is kind of neat to see. Hope you guys enjoyed it.
Really think it's time we say goodbye.
We met Ashley and Nills when the BVI first locked down, and they were the last couple we were able to socialize with before changing countries. With their charters now finished because of the pandemic, we decided to catch up over dinner and cocktails, a special treat as Ashley is a classically trained French chef.
I still wanna come over, 'cause I know that it's not too late.
We caught up on BVI lockdown stories and enjoyed our farewell meal as they had planned to sail north to Maine in an attempt to get some summer charters. Cheers. The next day, Ashley and Nills started their long journey north as Curtis followed them in the dinghy. Eventually, they would make their way back down to Key West to do more charters. But it too was time for us to move, and we took the time to prep the boat, to up canvas, on anchor, and set sail towards St. John, where more wilderness would perhaps allow us to extend our time off the boat in a more socially distant setting.
Come now, give me a moment, 'cause you know about the place I'm from.
Along the way, we consider hurricane season, insurance, and even heading back to the mainland states. But with cases rising, this option feels worse and worse.
I know I made mistakes, I know I lied. I should have noticed, yeah, I should have tried.
So as you can see behind us, there are a whole bunch of boats anchored. There are boats anchored everywhere in the U.S. Virgin Islands. The reason for that is that the U.S. Virgin Islands were the last Caribbean island to maintain an open border and allow safe harbor for basically any sailing vessel on the sea. Many of the other islands completely closed their borders and wouldn't allow anyone in, even their own nationality. There's more boats that have ever been in USVI are here now.
I think I read that there are normally like 275 boats here at this time of year, but there's actually around 600 boats here now.
It's really a unique experience, and we really thank the USVI for their hospitality.
And all the loving that I just ignored, I'm gonna revive it, I'm gonna revive it.
We have just entered the national park down here on St. John, and we're going to cruise around and have a look, see if there's any mooring balls available, and maybe pick one up for the night.
Yeehaw!
I know I made mistakes, I know I lied. I should have noticed, yeah, I should have tried. And all the loving that I just ignored, I'm gonna revive it, I'm gonna.
We've got a really small area that we can go through between the United States and the BVIs. The BVIs have been pretty adamant that they don't want anyone inside of their territorial waters and are going to be guarding it closely. As you can see, we're pointing right on the inside of it, which is right where we want to be. And we're going to skim the north side of St. John here.
We grabbed one of the few remaining moorings in Leinster Bay and quickly made friends with a pair on a J105. It caught our eye as we usually see it out on the race course and not amongst a bay full of cruisers.
You got there, Kate?
I've got a pizza that I made
Let's take a look.
on the boat. It's very weird shaped, but that's the love of it.
Oh yeah!
Your eyes so blue.
As their galley was more sparse, it being a racing boat, we decided to bring them a homemade pizza social distancing style by hanging out in the dinghy from the stern.
I got it.
If it drops in the water,
Ready? Coming in. It's not dropping. So hey, we've got our friends Jenny and John on Dog Smile. They are headed back to the States and also did charters out of Grenada, and Kate made us all some pizza.
Yeah, cheers, and Roxy loves pizza, by the way.
Dog Smile sailed all the way from Grenada to the States and trailered it all the way to Idaho, where John runs a non-profit therapeutic sailing program under the name Dog Smile Adventures. To learn more about John and the story of Dog Smile, check out the video description below.
Hey, we are in Leinster Bay near Watermelon Key, which is right over there. Our boat is back there behind us, and today, finally, after all of the coronavirus quarantine, we're finally on land to go for a little hike. The furthest I've been in 30 days onto shore is to walk about 100 feet on a dock into a parking lot to get groceries and back to the boat.
But this will be a little bit of normalcy that we'll get to feel, so we'll enjoy it while we can.
Go out now, be good, be fine, live your life, dream big, don't forget.
For a more detailed look at the Annaberg sugar plantation, check out our channel extras, or click the link here to discover more of the history and beauty of St. John.
Chase your dreams, everything, go on now, be good.
Tensions rise in St. John as forums get heated, with locals feeling bombarded from all the cruising boats from many different countries and islands, all landing in the same place. The moorings are still costly, even during the pandemic, and so we head back to sea for another beautiful sail. Even though the day is gorgeous, not everything is as it seems. Curtis decides to shake out the reef, and we enjoy the sights littered with cruising boats that also sit in limbo, awaiting the news of the surrounding areas and their respective countries. Where do we go from here?
If you want to take the best of me, I won't stop you if you try.
9 knots next to a buoy with the autopilot on!
What are we gonna do? Hashtag clickbait!
That's
Get edit that part out.
No, that's going in.
I've tried, but I just can't drink you off my mind since you left me.
The last couple days were kind of tough. Kate was thinking about just bailing on the whole thing and going home. I don't know if she's still going to do that or not, but hopefully she stays. She's a really good sailor and she's super valuable on the boat, and I don't want to see her go. And I love her, so she's more than just a crew member, so it'd be pretty devastating to me. Anyway, we'll see how that stuff goes.
The confined spaces on the boat have left more than just the journey in limbo. What does the future hold for the crew of Sweet Ruca? Stay tuned next week to find out. I just want to get my feelings. You got that? I'll tell.
Yep.